Okay, so welcome to this mini session with CCL Business Climate Leaders. My name is Runa Vinjay, and I'm going to interview the two new co-leads of the new E-team. And I also have with me here Mark Metzer, who is the co-lead of the communication team. Welcome. So, Pete, you are the owner of Vector Green Power.
That's right. Solar contractor in California.
Great. And Michael Messner, you are the CFO of Recurrent Energy.
Actually, I'm a retired energy executive.
Yeah.
I was the CFO of Recurrent Energy, correct.
Great. And you're also now volunteering for the new E-team, electricity team.
Correct.
Yes.
So can you tell us why this industry is so important in dealing with our climate change crisis we're seeing today?
Sure. Well, starting with the fact that the electric sector employs millions of Americans, many millions of Americans. And by electric, we mean including publicly owned utilities, independent power producers, manufacturers, suppliers, developers, project developers, marketers, EPC firms. So it's pretty broad categorization, really made up of a number of sub-industries. Electrical generation accounts for roughly a third of energy-related CO2 emissions, and about 2/3 of electricity comes from burning fossil fuels. So, and I'll let Pete jump in here in a minute, but I'll just say the industry is undergoing a huge transformation with wind and solar doubling every couple of years and massive closures of coal-fired plants. But that's not enough really to put a big dent in climate change. And so we need a bigger incentive, and that's where a carbon fee comes into the picture. Go ahead, Pete.
Sure. And so beyond just the electric power sector, which, as Michael said, contributes a little under a third of the total U.S. greenhouse gas emissions, most experts agree that really the best way to decarbonize the U.S. economy is to electrify everything and then to green the grid or to generate your electricity renewably. So we have a long way to go. As Michael said, only a third of U.S. electricity is renewable so far, and we've got to get the other 2/3 just in this sector. Then we have to add the transportation and the building sectors, which each are another quarter or so of total U.S. greenhouse gas emissions. So we need to nearly triple the contribution that we're making. But as you electrify everything, things get more efficient. And some analysts say you can save 30 to 40% of total energy use solely through efficiency of electric motors versus internal combustion, and et cetera. But so it's a hugely important sector in terms of the way it can and must contribute to decarbonizing the economy.
Great, thank you. Mark?
Yeah, I'd like to ask you gentlemen if you could very quickly talk about what your vision is for this team and its accomplishments.
Sure, I'll start. We're very closely aligned with Business Climate Leaders, BCL, and with Citizens Climate Lobby, the parent organizations, CCL. And all of us are really laser focused on a single thing, which is to convince the U.S. federal government to impose a price on carbon and thereby eliminate the market failure, which is allowing people or companies to dispose of their waste greenhouse gases into the atmosphere at no charge. We believe that correcting that market failure makes every other policy initiative that's necessary either less complex or, less complex, less expensive, or more effective. And so there's a wide range of other things that need to be done beyond a carbon tax, but we think a carbon tax is really a foundational element. Some call it a backbone of what our carbon price policy should be in the new Congress.
And what I would add is, I think our vision includes leveraging the tremendous expertise and experience and contacts, quite frankly, we have on the team to open the door to and develop relationships with key players in the industry, be it renewable energy developers, or be it utilities or others in the sector, and then to work with them, to partner with them in advocating for carbon fee and dividend, along with our CCL partners.
Great, thank you. So talking about your team, is the team up and running already?
Yeah, the team is up and running for the last several months. In fact, there's been a team for a number of years, but it had kind of gone into a little bit of a hiatus. And Pete and I joined sort of with the task or the challenge of revitalizing things. So that was several months ago, I want to say 3 months ago, maybe 3 or 4 months ago. So yeah, we're up and running. We've got, I think, between 20 and 30 members, 10 to 15 of which tend to show up at any meeting, and we have bi-weekly meetings and a list of action items.
So bi-weekly meetings, and so if you're trying to find new volunteers to join your team, who is the perfect candidate, or who are the perfect volunteers to join your team?
So really, it sounds a little trite, but I would say anybody and everybody is welcome. We have, out of those 30 or so members of the team, 2/3 of us are either active in senior executive roles in the industry or just recently retired from an active role. We have a really impressive set of resumes and contacts. As Michael said, he's a former CFO at Recurrent Energy. He was an executive at traditional utility before that, and at ARCO way back in the day. And so we have quite an extensive set of networks and skills. We welcome more of the same, but we also welcome anybody who has an interest in learning about the electric sector or in helping us just with the analysis that it takes to make connections and make contacts and set up meetings and try to persuade these companies to join us in lobbying Congress for effective federal climate policy.
Great.
Yeah, and I would add, there's no one-time requirement. I mean, some people, who are retired or have more time can put in, 10, 15 hours a week. But we'll take, 2 or 3 or 4 hours a week too. And we'll take folks who can act more as consultants on a sort of specialized, specific basis. So we're really pretty open about it. Really, the main thing is having the eagerness and the interest in learning and the interest in engaging with fellow teammates and with the industry.
Great, thank you. Pete and Michael, thank you for your time today. I and the whole BCL community wish you the best of luck with the new team, and congratulations.
Thank you, my pleasure.
Thank you very much. Enjoyed it.